What up, YouTube? How y'all doing out there? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Whatever Tiff. I'm Tiff, aka Big Tiff, BKA Top 5 Tiff. I can keep going with them, but I think that's enough for now. So, I was making this video because this crazy thing just happened to me. I decided to tell my kids the truth about Santa Claus. And I guess I have to skip the details because there wasn't a whole lot of rebuttal I got from my kids about what I was saying. Pretty much they was already hip. You got them watching TikTok, YouTube, playing video games and stuff like that. So they already kind of have that like conscious exposure, so to speak, about themselves for them both to be under 10, one boy, one girl. So they was just trying to understand. I'm telling them like, hey, mama's broke. They not used to me saying that. They think I was playing. They thought this was a game. I'm like, no, it's just things is getting harder. It's getting harder to maintain, your normal living with the time you're allowed it to work one job, letting on two, letting on side hustles or whatever else. So I'm giving it to them raw. Like, it's just not going down like that this Christmas. You will look good. Now you're going to look good. You're going to have your head together and your clothes together, your outfit, you're going to be crisp and, get to go spend time with family. We're going to have some good food, play games and whatever else, so it's going to be a very good Christmas day and Christmas Eve. But, we just not going to focus on gifts. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm sure they'll get things from other people who have that giving spirit, so to speak, or was able to make it happen, however you want to look at it. But I just decided not to put that pressure on myself this year. Like, my kids are young. It's not like their Christmas wish list was super expensive or anything. It's not like they didn't deserve it. I can kind of say, yeah, they can definitely work on some things if we're going to talk about deserving, this big, huge Christmas, or being able to get all the lavish things that you look at when you scroll, on TikTok shop and stuff like that. So, just was like, I'm not doing it this year. That's not how we're going to do it this year. And I really didn't feel no type of way about it. I guess always the closer you get once you put up your Christmas decorations, if you get off into that, and or you get off into the spirit of Christmas, the spirit of giving, I can just say that I particularly for the last, I'll say like 5 years or so, I've been having the kind of like conscious mind frame that I don't truly want to celebrate the Christmas holiday in the traditional form, like with trees and stuff. I do like decorating, just showing the time of the year, like being seasonal with it. And because it's just anything like that, from season to season, just make you feel good in your home or whatnot, your decorum. But I just felt like, as every year passed, I get more stronger and stronger about the thought of not celebrating the holiday of Christmas. The holiday of Christmas with all of the traditional stuff. So my kids was like, whatever, basically. Like, they just wanted, a few little things that didn't really cost that much. Now, my son is more techie, so his gifts can tend to be more expensive, but it's like, dude, you're still young. They both under 10, and he's, half of that, so it's like, no, I don't feel like I need to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on you for Christmas. especially this Christmas, December 2024. Mm-mm. So that was pretty chill. But the thing is that we had this whole thing about it and talked about it on and off for like a day or so. Just for that thing to turn around on me, it was like God was like, no, girl, you don't get to tell them kids that, there's nobody that's going to get them anything other than their parents and, people in their family who care about them or friends that care about them. Like, you don't get to tell them that. Because this lady showed up at my door with a trunk and a back seat full of toys and gifts for kids. Like, unreal. It was unreal. It was just like, you know what, God? Thank you. I'm very grateful for what you showed me. You showed me that the minute I doubted, I guess I could say I was always a believer in, faith by works. So I'm always working, I'm always providing, I'm always going to make it happen. My adult children call me Mrs. Make It Happen. So, it's like with me having that mind frame that, hey, I can't do it this year. I'm not going to feel bad about it. It's tough out here for everybody. I want to make the smart decision to preserve whatever I can or get by without spending tons of money on stuff that's like, for what? It's not even their birthday. You know what I'm saying? It's Christ's birthday. So like, and I feel like, that was teaching them a better lesson too about giving. I did allow them to shop for other family members and give, gifts to people that they love. But I didn't want them to think that what they may have experienced their short time on life here, where they still have memories from other Christmases and stuff, and then even just letting them know, like, hey, you guys don't even play with a lot of that stuff that you get from like aunts and uncles and grandparents and stuff. You don't even really play with it. It ends up broken, pieces missing, or they just not off into games. They rather be on the electronics when they have time to have their fun time or whatnot. So yeah, it got real. So she showed up with all these gifts. There was so much stuff. I have 3 grandkids. So I was able to provide like 4 or 5 gifts a piece for the kids. Like, it was just the most amazingest thing. Like, good stuff to where everybody is gonna be like, wow, this is cool. I just, I can't explain that blessing and how it just came in and just smacked me in my face. Like, for real, like, girl, stop. Like, yes. I just grateful to be deserving of having that blessing come down like that. Like, it was, and I'm really not into the Toys for Tots and Angel Tree and stuff like that, because I always feel like my kids, they get enough stuff to where there's a lot of children out here that need this type of stuff, so I don't be want to take from somebody else that really could have used it. If just having a mind frame that there's this line and there might get to a cutoff point where they're like, we don't have any more donations to donate to your family. And I never want to sit and think that I've taken up somebody else's that could have used it more than me, because I can just teach my kids like, hey, this ain't that, and y'all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I really want them to know that, they can strive for whatever. I can strive for whatever for them. But at this time, I just really want them to know that the truth about, what it is. And sometimes this is how it can be. to where you have to preserve from doing things how you would traditionally want to do them. I think it's important for them to know that as early on in their adolescence as possible. And mind you, that type of mind frame didn't just come from being not in the position I wanted to be in, but I've raised a set of children already to where they always had things. I may have once or twice when they were smaller gotten things from Toys for Tots and stuff like that, but it was in a time where we needed it, like the people who I know. So I can say I've been there to know what it's like for you to stand in line or something and they tell you that we don't have anymore, or you're picking from stuff where you've seen people get nicer stuff than what you were able to get at the time. So I want my kids to understand it is just not about the getting all the time, because they really don't want for anything. And when they do want for things, there's more, like growing up and getting amongst children who are able to get a lot of stuff, then they'll just appreciate things more. That's where I truly want them to be at. Is growing into teens, yeah. So that was interesting and very just humbling, and a reminder for myself, and being able to pass down to my kids. Like, y'all won't believe this, when they came home and one of my older daughters had wrapped all the gifts and stuff for them. It was just so cool to see their reaction. And I had to tell them that I can't say that there's a Santa Claus, but we're going to talk about God. We're going to talk about him, because that is the one who made that possible and made that connect like that, especially after me getting them prepared for, that this might not be that type of Christmas for y'all. You might not get the stuff that you asked for, and it's not even expensive stuff, like, for real. But so thanks for hanging out with me. I wanted to share that story and experience that I had. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, please do. If you made it this far, at least give me a like. And I'll be back.